AI Tom. You ask, he answers. Here's AI Tom.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Ask AI Tom. Today we have 3 questions to answer. Slappy Wilson says, can you give us a rundown of all the bass guitars and bass amps you use at Grillcloth Studio? Sure, Slappy, I think we can handle that. The only bass guitar I have is this 2006 Fender Jaguar. I bought it brand new in 2006. The label on the back reads, crafted in Japan, not made in Japan. Weird. It has active pickups and every kind of knob and switch a tweaky little geek could want. You can really carve out a unique sound with this bass. Here's a mid to late 90s Carvin R600 bass amp with a 12AX7 tube emulator. No tubes, but it sounds like a tube amp. It has a built-in compressor, noise gate, and EQs. I just come out of the XLR direct output on the back and go directly into a preamp in the Mackie Onyx Blackbird recording interface. It sounds great. It's a bit under the weather right now. Need to have it looked at. Speaking of having amps looked at, I recommend Matteo at Caldera Electronics. He did a great tune-up on my 69 Super Reverb 3 or 4 years ago. This thing is a late 1970s Yamaha B100 bass amp. I bought it used in the early 80s. What you see is what you get. It has a 1/4-inch record-out jack on the back. I take a cable from that, and just like the Carvin, I go straight into the recording interface. Mike Arjanis used this amp on all the bass parts on the latest Edward album, Evolver. Here's a third option I have for recording bass guitar. This green thing is a Joe Meek VC6Q British channel, made sometime in the late 90s. Just plugged straight into the front. It has a built-in compressor and parametric EQ. It sounds great. Like the other 2 amps, I just come right out of this into the recording interface preamp. I thought I'd throw this in, even though it's not a bass. It's a 1977 Fender Rhodes 88 suitcase piano. This was given to me sometime in the early to mid 1990s. I used to work for a sound reinforcement contractor. We'd install sound systems in churches, bars, and schools, places like that. It was fun. One week we'd be at a church, the next we'd be at a strip club. This guy Paul showed up at work one day with it in the back of his truck. He said he was going to take it to Goodwill. Unless I wanted it. I did, and he gave it to me. I've had it ever since. A couple of keys need work, but it still plays great. Question 2 comes from Age Banter. They ask, what's the best way to get dog pee stains out of my carpet? Try using baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, dish soap, and white vinegar. Question 3 comes from Alex Van Helen. He asks, do you know a good recipe for Spam burritos? No, because good in the same sentence with spam is an oxymoron. Now here's a moron playing an air concertina. Guess that's it. Leave your questions below and we'll do our best to answer them. Goodbye. Ask AI Tom is at Grillcloth Records.